I hit record again. This time I will be sharing facts about me because I want you to all get to know me, like I said in my last video. But before I get started, I realized that I was being super rude, and this is gonna be fact number 1, is that I name all my plants. I have an abundance of plants in my life, and I was so rude last week. Didn't even introduce you to Lucia over here, my luscious fern, and she has just been the most affectionate little soul, and gives me life. All my plants, I named them all. There's Maurice, there's Lucia. Say nice to meet you too. Jeez. All right, so there's Maurice, there's Lucia, I have Spidey, I have TT, I have Elliot. I can't forget Elliot. So the reason why I'd like to name my plants is, you know how like there's like a joke about like being a cat lady? Well, like I'm a plant lady. I embrace this stereotype. I name my plants, I talk to them like they're my friends because they are my friends. Sometimes I like them better than my other friends. Did I say that out loud? Anyways, and yeah, I like my plants. All right, fact number 2 is I am obsessed with the movie Dirty Dancing. I watched Dirty Dancing in, I believe, 2015, so this was maybe 5 years ago, could have been 2016, at Astoria Park. I loved it. And like, saying I loved it is an understatement. I was captivated by it. Patrick Swayze, I love him. Dancing in his black tank top, I don't know. It was just hot to me. I also just love the music. I love how awesome the dad was. I love how like abortions like wasn't like a big deal. I just loved everything about it. I loved it so much that I ended up bawling at the end. Like right when they say nobody puts baby in the corner, I was just bawling, and I just kept saying, it's so good, it's so good, it's so good, it's so good. And everyone around me was really scared and confused as to why I was sobbing. And my partner, later that evening, as we walked home, and I just was like, you know, like hyperventilating, crying, after I calmed down from hyperventilating, crying, from how obsessed and awesome this movie was, he decided to play the song when we got home, and I began to hyperventilate, cry all over again. And every time I watch the movie, that's what happens. Fact number 3. This one's a little bit more serious than my previous facts, but my dad unexpectedly died 5 years ago. And even now it's like hard to talk about it, which is why, you know, I get kind of choked up. The day that my dad died was the day I got a pair of new eyes. After that, I learned that nothing matters in the best way. Like everything that I thought that mattered before didn't matter after that moment, because I had nothing to lose anymore. I experienced one of the most painful things, I would say the number one painful thing that I have experienced in my life was losing my dad, having someone that raised me gone, dead, and just knowing that like I was never gonna see him again. I lost this person that I loved so much in my life that I just stopped giving. And the set of new eyes that I have really deepened my friendships. It deepened my relationship to myself and to Earth, you know, our home. It deepened my not giving a attitude, and I was just, you know, solo traveling to the most amazing places. I took a lot more risks is what I'm trying to say. It was the worst day of my life, but I feel like it was the start of my life as well. So, fact number 4. My morning ritual is very, very important to me. Like very, very, very important to me. If I don't have my morning ritual, and my morning ritual is like, on a good day, it's 2 hours. On a, like, I have to do day, it's about an hour. Which is just me taking time for myself. It's making my, you know, AeroPress coffee, because I love to have a cup of joe in the morning. I hate that it's called cup of joe. I don't want a cup of joe. I'd rather have a cup of chill, if you know what I mean. But I need my cup of coffee, and I do a gratitude. I literally record myself talking about what I'm grateful for. I share it with 2 people that are near and dear to my heart, and I journal. I, on a good day, read a chapter of a book. Maybe I'll do some mundane task like washing the dishes that feels meditative, or like I actually meditate in the morning during my morning ritual. So I just make sure I carve out this time for myself. Otherwise, if I don't, I'm super grumpy, like a hardcore grumpy bear. It's not cute. I can just kiss the day goodbye and everyone else can kiss me goodbye, because no one will want to be near me if I don't have my morning ritual carved out for me. Okay. So fact number 5. I've traveled to 15 states and 12 countries and 4 continents. Just to name a few, I recently went on about a month-long road trip. I went to Utah, Arizona, I went to Colorado and New Mexico. You know, I traveled to those states. That was a really awesome road trip. I solo traveled to Jordan. I also solo traveled to Atlanta. I solo traveled to Norway, Spain, Germany. I solo traveled Paris, which was great. I like my alone time and my morning rituals. I like to travel alone sometimes too. So fact number 6 is what my DNA makeup is. I thought it was interesting. I took a 23andMe test because I spent my whole life not knowing what I was. And, you know, I knew that I was Filipinx, so that's, you know, on my mom's side, I was Filipinx. And on my dad's side, he had no idea what he was. He just was like, our last name is Irish, so you're Irish. And the funny thing is that when I took the 23andMe test, I was like 10% Irish and the rest of my white side was Jewish, so Ashkenazi Jew. Yeah, so on my dad's side, I'm Jewish. And then I'm British Irish, so that was really enlightening for me to discover. I didn't know too much about my makeup and ancestral makeup, and I do think learning about your ancestors and where you came from, where they came from, what their experiences were, are really important. A lot of information, and if you don't believe in generational trauma, ancestral trauma, you're wrong. It's true. Look it up. And it was a eye-opening thing for me to discover more and more of my history and background. Fact number 7, and it's that I lived in New York City for the last 5 years. I just moved back to the Bay a year ago, and it's been hard because I left this place because of all the trauma that I experienced growing up and also as an adult. You know, there's a lot of stuff I left behind because I was being who I wasn't here to cope, and I moved to New York because I wanted to discover who I truly was, and I totally did. 5 years in New York, built some character. I had wonderful experiences. I met my Ohana, so my chosen family. Shout out to all of you guys. I specifically lived in Queens, and I loved Queens because, you know, the magic of that borough is incredible. There's so many different types of people there. So much history, beautiful buildings, delicious food. I miss my falafel guy. Just really miss my falafel guy, my baklava guy. I really miss it, and I miss going to shows. I know that pandemic life has all shows #canceled. Wear your mask. Yeah, I lived in New York for 5 years and I miss it a lot. I'm still feeling salty about moving back to the Bay Area. But as I discovered who I was in New York, I am looking at this move to the Bay Area to become who I want to be. Figured out here who I wasn't. Went to New York, discovered who I was. And now I'm back in the Bay, and I'm here because I want to discover who I'm going to become. Future Stella. Watch out. Yeah, so these are 7 fun facts. Not really that fun. I just want you to get to know me. And I would love to hear more about you. So if you are feeling called to comment and share with me something that I should know about you, that would be awesome. I'm gonna end it here, and thank you so much for watching this video. I'm just so grateful to have hit record, like hit the record button for the 2nd time. I was really nervous about posting my last video, but then I remembered that my dad is dead, so why do you care about anything? Just hit the damn record button and hit the publish button. So if you're watching this, I hit the publish button again, and I'm just, yeah, so glad that you watched up until now. I will see y'all next week. Stay shiny. I really mean it, stay shiny. All right. Lucia says goodbye too.